Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. It is the August 31st edition of WWE NXT. And today we're going to be chatting all things the black and gold brand. And I'm, for one, am excited to get into this conversation because I thought for the most part we had a pretty decent episode of NXT here tonight. And I can't wait to chat about it here. For those of you who are new to the show, what's up? I'm Denise Salcedo. Thank you guys so much for joining me. For those of you who do not know how I pretty much run down through this entire show, I do go through everything in chronological format, and we kind of talk about just the major cool things that happened on this show. I'll read your comments. I'll read all of that as we go throughout here. Make sure to send in your chats because they are the best way to make sure that you get read on the air. And also just be super active in the chat, and I will read your comments as we go through the entire show here today. So welcome everybody here today. So here we go. We actually have our first super chat of the day. This one is from Nick Grasso. Thank you so much to Nick, who says they need to give Pete Dunne's group a name like Strong Style. They definitely haven't made it clear what they're going to be called, at least that I know of right now. But I do think that they need to come up with something pretty cool. I don't know if they'd use Strong Style, but I don't know if they would use that name, but either way, they do got to come up with something for them. But Nick, thank you so much for getting us started here today. So as everyone's kind of like getting into this stream, as we're going through all of this, I do want to let you guys know that this week is going to kind of be a little bit crazy. It's going to be a little bit different from what you guys are normally used to seeing on here. So for those of you guys who know, I'm usually on live 3 times a week. I'm on for NXT, AEW, and then Fridays I do my Smackdown and AEW Rampage coverage. However, this Friday, guys, I'm going to be in Chicago for All Out, and I'm going to be ring announcing at the GCW show. So I will not be able to do my Smackdown Rampage coverage like I normally do. So in order to make up for me not doing that stream, I'm going to be going on at an earlier time on Friday to do AEW All Out predictions. So for those of you who are interested in that, I will be going ahead and doing that on the show. So if you guys want to come in on Friday for that, it's going to be really, really fun. And then also I will be back on Monday to do an AEW All Out experience live show review / recap of the actual show. So it's going to be very, very fun here today. Killer Cole says, glad I get to watch a Denise Salcedo stream on my birthday. Is it your birthday today, Killer Cole? If it is, happy birthday. If it's an early birthday, happy early birthday. Thank you so much for coming in on here. I really appreciate it. Nick Scott says, hey, Denise, I'm not much of a commenter, but I'm a big fan. Thank you so much to Nick for coming in here. I really do appreciate it, guys. All right, so here we go. Let's do this, everybody. Let's jump into NXT because so NXT has sort of been the talk of the town right now, and not necessarily for the greatest of things. They do have a brand new logo, which I'm assuming they're going to start showing it off in like a couple of weeks. Who knows exactly when, but that is going to be pretty interesting to see what the new format, what the new show is going to be looking like. We have been on here talking about a couple of those changes the last couple of weeks, kind of talking about the changes that we have been seeing so far on the show. And from the looks of it, guys, they are no longer hiring independent wrestlers, which has been another topic on top of that, which has been a little bit, I'm a little bit nervous about that, but we'll see how it turns out. For those of you guys who did not see the latest story, they did hire a bunch of like second generation talents that aren't necessarily wrestlers per se, but more of those like body types of people, athletes, so to say. So it is going to be interesting to see how they all turn out to be in this new version of NXT. And I, for one, I'm a little bit nervous about it, but we'll see how this all goes down. And let's go ahead and move on. So let's talk about this show here today. So here we go. We actually kick things off with Mandy Rose versus Sarray. So we have not seen Mandy Rose wrestle. Get this, guys. I had to go back and check because I could not remember the last time we saw Mandy Rose wrestle. The last time we saw her wrestle was on June 28th, 2021, obviously this year. But June 28th, guys, that is 2 months that we have not seen Mandy Rose wrestle whatsoever. The last time we actually saw her wrestle was during a 6-person tag on Monday Night Raw where she teamed up with Dana Brooke and Rhea Ripley. And I can't even remember the match itself. But she was the person that, ended up just randomly showing up to NXT, and nobody was expecting it. She sort of came out of the blue. They didn't really explain what she was doing there. And from the pieces that we put together is that she would be managing this new group. And eventually now we know that she's officially managing Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, which so far, based on what we saw today and what we've been seeing the last couple of weeks, even though there has been some things that were told out of order, I do think that I'm interested in this whole pairing. I'm interested in this like girl duo that they're doing with all these three women. I think so far it's looking pretty all right here today. So here we go. So we had this match between Mandy Rose and Sarray. Now, I gotta say, we all know that Sarray is maybe at a higher level in ring wise when it comes to what she can do in the ring than Mandy Rose. However, being the fact that we haven't seen Mandy wrestle in 2 months, given the fact that she's not necessarily, again, like I said, at Sarray's level, I really thought she looked good here tonight. There was not a moment throughout this match where I thought Mandy Rose does not belong here. So I got to give her kudos, because I don't know what, she just came across a lot differently in the ring today than I recall seeing her on Raw. Like, I feel on Raw, I think a lot of the times you maybe saw it as something of a throw. You always saw her at a certain level on that Raw women's roster, but for some reason, I just feel like she came across a lot stronger today in this match with Sarray. Now, here's the thing about Sarray. Sarray, for the most part, she has been being protected. She's been protected on NXT for quite some time. She was on a 5-match winning streak, and then she ended up losing recently a match that she had against Dakota Kai. And then she went into this match with Mandy Rose. And from the looks of it, they didn't necessarily want Mandy Rose to get pinned, and they didn't want Sarray to get pinned either. And the way that they ended up doing this is during this match, we saw Sarray literally hit Mandy Rose with a brutal drop kick that ended up tossing Mandy Rose out of the ring. So JC Jane and Gigi Dolan end up grabbing a white towel, and they cover her face with it, and they like carry her away as the referee counts out this match. So they were sort of like protecting her in a very drastic way, but I was kind of digging it. And I know why they did this. They did this again because they don't want either of these two girls taking the pin. You have Sarray, like I said, who has been being protected. I do not see her losing against Dakota Kai as a bad thing, because she should have been losing to Dakota Kai, considering that Dakota Kai was, just challenging for that NXT Women's Championship. And then with Mandy Rose, this is literally her first match back on NXT. And, she's starting this whole new stable, whatever you want to call it. You don't want to have her lose either. So I do get why they decided to do this and why they decided to do this finish. I did not hate it whatsoever. I honestly did not hate this whatsoever. And then later on in the show, we do see JC and Gigi Dolan attack Sarray backstage in the locker room essentially for what they did to Mandy Rose and her face. So I was a fan of this. Let's see. What did you guys think of this? Let's see what you guys all say here. We got a super chat from Zeke Jackson, who says, "Hey, Denise, thanks for streaming today. Ketchup plain or ketchup with mayonnaise?" Wait, what? Definitely. Okay. You put ketchup with mayonnaise? I don't think I've ever done that, unless they put it in a burger automatically when they put your sauces for you and they do the ketchup and the mayonnaise for you. But for the most part, definitely ketchup plain. I'm going to answer your question the way I think that's the question you were asking. But yes, definitely ketchup plain. And thank you so much for sending in a super chat. I really thank you for this. We got a lot of different people here with different thoughts here. Let's see. We got Twitch Face 4 saying winner as a result of a cop out. Sorry. Count out. I get what you were doing here, Twitch Face. I get what you were doing here. The only reason why this didn't necessarily bother me so much is because Mandy Rose is like a gorgeous looking gal, and given the way that they did this, I almost feel like they did it in a way to like protect her looks and protect her face, because immediately they like covered her up and they kind of did like a Mean Girls thing where like you essentially don't want anybody to see you if you think you look ugly. That's what I got from this, and that's why I like this, and this seems to be the direction that they're heading in. Now, if I'm right or if I'm wrong, we'll find out in the next week or so. And then I did like them actually getting the attack afterwards on, in the locker locker room. So I was totally cool with this. Again, not the best, but it was what it was here. And let's see what else we got here. We got people saying that Four Door Soup says, I hated this finish. Should have been a DQ finish with interference. You know what? At least they definitely do. They don't do as many countouts as they do those interference DQ finishes. And I think we saw later one on the show, so they probably had to save it. And we got a comment from Aaron Fernandez who says, to be honest, Mandy Rose has got what it takes to compete for the NXT Women's Championship. Now, I get what you're saying. To compete for it, okay, cool. I don't see her becoming NXT Women's Champion. But I could see her as a challenger, and I don't see a problem with that. If they build her up and, make her, this powerful gal, with her duo with Gigi Dolan and JC Jane at her side, I don't see an issue with them building her up and giving her some credibility. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm totally cool with that, but I don't necessarily see her actually winning the title. But you're saying here compete. So I definitely kind of agree with that. We got a comment from Flamethrower who says that Mandy definitely looked more comfortable tonight. She really did, guys. She really did. I was a little bit surprised. Like I said, I feel like we're used to getting certain types of matches from her, and this one felt completely different. I thought for the most part they highlighted her strengths, and there wasn't a moment in this where she looked bad. She did it. Pomi Wrestling says you can't have Sarray lose another match in a row. You don't want Mandy to lose clean in her first match. Why book the match in the first place? It felt very main roster-y. Well, I see what you're getting at here. I can't necessarily fight this comment whatsoever, but I'm just thinking to myself, see, I feel like a lot of people probably didn't like this as much, and I would agree with it. And I know people are saying, like, don't book the match. We got a comment here from Gooback84. But personally, I didn't hate it, guys. I didn't hate it. Let's see what else we got here. And I'm going through some of your guys' comments here. Zane Miller says this is just WWE booking, nothing more, nothing less. And Hector Rodriguez says, why do the Twitch comments look funnier than the YouTube ones? Let me see this. No, they look the same to me. Or at least on my end, they look the same to me. Sorry, I was checking that. I was like, do they really look differently? I don't know. Sticker Reds 202 says, I was dying to see how Mandy was going to take Sarray's face-smashing dropkick, but I sure did not expect the towel. You know what I thought? I thought that they were going to surrender. When I saw JC grab the white towel, I thought they were going to do like a surrender thing where they pull out the white towel and just like give up. But covering her face, I guess they took it to like another level. So I appreciated this. And alrighty, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on from here. So after this, we had Duke Hudson versus Kyle O'Reilly. And I'm just going to say this right now. This was probably my favorite match of the night. So I have been coming on these streams and I haven't put over Duke Hudson very often. I kind of, I've been on here and I've said, I haven't been impressed whatsoever. He's just another guy. I necessarily haven't been putting the guy over per se. However, I went into this match and I was like, oh my God, Kyle O'Reilly versus Duke Hudson. So this is what I wanted to say. And I still agree with a lot of what I had to say. Okay, let me just start off by saying that the way that they set this match up, I thought was a little weird. I wasn't completely sold on the idea of seeing this match. I thought heading into this match that it was going to be like a quick squash. I wasn't really expecting much from it. I wasn't expecting to necessarily be all that interested in it. And I sure as hell was not expecting to come out here and say that it was my favorite match of the day. And one of the reasons why I also wasn't necessarily looking forward to this match is because Kyle O'Reilly is coming off of this win against Adam Cole, the story that has been told for such a long period of time. He's coming off this win. Then he gets randomly attacked by Duke Hudson. So then they have this match here today. And I'm thinking to myself, it's very, very obvious that they do not know where to go with Kyle O'Reilly right now. They don't know what direction to take his character in. They are sort of like going back and forth between this like tough persona of Kyle O'Reilly to this like goofy persona of Kyle O'Reilly. So I almost feel like the direction isn't necessarily clear with Kyle O'Reilly. So heading into this match, I was like, oh, this is not that great. Duke Hudson, he has had one win, guys. one win, and that win was against Eichmann Jiro in the NXT Breakout Tournament. After that, he lost to Carmelo Hayes, who then ended up winning the tournament. So what you're telling me here is that his third match on NXT is with Kyle O'Reilly, and he's already being 50-50 booked. So I was not interested going into this match. I didn't have a reason to be interested. However, as the match sort of progressed, they essentially were telling the story that they wanted, okay, so Kyle O'Reilly, he has, the injured ribs and all of that. He's got the tape and all of that. So this entire match, he's not at 100%, okay? So you have Duke Hudson, who point blank, you look at him and he is he looks strong. He has a good body and all of that. So they really wanted to put forth and highlight his strengths, some of which we really haven't seen on that NXT Breakout Tournament. I thought that this was the best that we saw from Duke Hudson. And for a while, I was coming on here and I was saying, I know what they see in him, but at the same time, I don't know what they see in him. I get it now. I get what they see in him after this match, because they really did they showed him manhandling Kyle O'Reilly. They really highlighted a lot of his strengths throughout this match, and I think that's what kind of made it pretty good, because then in the beginning, you see Hudson go after Kyle O'Reilly right away. He starts going at him, but Kyle O'Reilly is able to essentially outsmart him, obviously given all of the experience that he has. But then we saw this match sort of switch gears. Again, like I said, Kyle O'Reilly was not at 100%. So you started to see Duke Hudson essentially go after the ribs the entire match. The entire match, he finds a way to essentially just keep getting one above Kyle O'Reilly. And then we even see a little personality from Duke Hudson during this. He even mocks Kyle O'Reilly during this. So I thought that was a little bit funny. That was probably the most personality that we've seen. The point is, they wanted him to look powerful in this match, and I thought that they really did here. After the commercial break, we finally see Kyle get the upper hand by hitting Duke Hudson with several strikes, takes him down with a dragon screw, and then Kyle O'Reilly ends up blocking the guillotine on Duke Hudson. And at this point, I'm thinking the match is over. I'm thinking, all right, just tap out to the guillotine and that's it. But instead, he ends up lifting Kyle O'Reilly and ends up smashing him right into the turnbuckle. And then Duke Hudson ends up suplexing Kyle O'Reilly. He almost gets the win here. And I knew for a fact, I was like, oh, there's no way that they're going to have Kyle O'Reilly lose. Like, I did not think that it would have been the right call to have Kyle O'Reilly lose, but he didn't. Eventually, he had Kyle O'Reilly winning by submission. So this was a good match. I was invested, and they finally gave me a reason to care about Duke Hudson. And they also, even though Kyle O'Reilly, didn't necessarily dominate this entire match, it was fine because at the same time, he was not 100% in this. So this was a good match. If you did not watch NXT, I would probably say check it out, especially if you kind of want to see what they might be seeing in Duke Hudson. But we got a super chat from Flamethrower Fluff Salisbury, who says, I hope the cops catch whoever ran over Kyle O'Reilly with a car. He still had tire marks on his ribs during the match. Thank you so much to Flamethrower for sending in this super chat. I appreciate it. And let's see what else we got here. A Shot sends in a super comment saying, update on Adam Cole. He has no cavities. If you guys haven't seen Britt Baker's video where she is checking Adam Cole's teeth, it's pretty funny. It's a really quick video, but it's pretty hilarious how she's like, he has no cavities. I was like, great. Imagine having a dentist in your own home. Better yet, imagine being married to a dentist. You never have to worry about your teeth. And let's see what else we got here. We got a comment from Ray Rodrigo who says he loved this show and he can't wait to see what they do in the reboot. Oh, I just hope that the reboot is good, guys, because I'm so used to this very edgy NXT. And I was saying this on We're Live Pal today, is I'm a big fan of the edginess. I like all of that. And so to kind of go into this new, what feels like everybody saying it's like a Nickelodeon type of thing, like more like kids like. I hope that's not what it is. I hope they still keep that, same style that we're sort of used to seeing on NXT for the most part, because obviously they're going to be changing the type of talents that they bring in. So I am a little bit nervous. I don't want to get, I'm not as hopeful yet. Hopefully, once we start seeing the changes, I'll feel a little bit better about what we're seeing. But for right now, I am not completely confident in what the changes are. But then again, I'm not there making decisions, so I don't really know like the inside of what's going on here. And we got people asking what's next for Kyle O'Reilly. Well, I thought that he should have been one of those people to go after the bout for Samoa Joe. But at the same time, it's like, so this is one of the things that I was saying after TakeOver, is that you have Kyle O'Reilly win, you have him defeat Adam Cole. He should be getting a title shot against Samoa Joe. But at the same time, we all know that Samoa Joe is going to be champion for a little while at least, and you don't want to have Kyle O'Reilly go up for the bout and then necessarily lose right away. So it's kind of like this place where you're like, well, what's next for Kyle O'Reilly? I still think that he should go for the title. I prefer him going for the title and losing than essentially kind of, be stuck in these matches with the Duke Hudsons of the world and then losing a lot of what he built with that story that he had with Adam Cole. You don't want him to lose all of the credibility that he earned while feuding with Adam Cole, because it's not like Adam Cole, at least from the looks of it, it doesn't look like Adam Cole is going to come back and give him that rub again. So I don't know what's next for Kyle O'Reilly, but we'll see there. And let's see what else we got here. BTW, we got a new member here on YouTube, Derek Cook. Thank you so much, Derek. Welcome. If you guys want to become members here on the YouTube channel, you definitely can. You get lots of exclusive bonus content. And we are actually almost about to hit 80,000 subscribers here on the YouTube channel. So if you guys haven't subscribed yet, if you're already here, make sure to subscribe. Even if you just watch on Twitch, you can still subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. I cannot wait till we hit 100K. It's going to be very exciting. And we're kind of almost there. Almost there. Marvin makes a joke and says that SpongeBob is NXT confirmed. I would mark the hell out. You know what? I would mark out. Bring in SpongeBob. Bring in Mr. Krabs. Bring in Squidward. Are you kidding me? Squidward would be the biggest heel and Patrick would be the biggest baby face on NXT. But thank you so much to Marvin for making us laugh a little bit here. And yeah, somebody's also pointing out the Universal Studios Orlando thing. Who knows? That's definitely not in the works right now, but it would be hilarious. All right, and I'm going to go through a couple more comments. Everyone's here is just laughing. Guys, I appreciate it. BTW, if you're new to watching these live streams live, we like to have fun on here. It's always a good time, guys. It's professional wrestling. It's entertainment. We should be having a good time. All right, so let's move on, guys. This next thing that we're going to talk about, I just want to start off by saying that I feel, even though this is probably the best way to put it, but I do not want Ilja Dragunov to not be on my NXT television every single Tuesday. I need Ilja Dragunov on my NXT every single Tuesday, okay? You already know I do not watch NXT UK, okay? A lot of people do not watch NXT UK. I don't have time to watch NXT UK. I want to be able to see Ilja Dragunov on a show that I already cover each and every single Tuesdays. This feels like a summer romance. Like you have this summer romance with Dragunov and Walter, and then they just took it away from you. It's done. We're back to reality. And Dragunov comes out, and guys, he's a badass. He is a badass, a real legitimate badass. Like there aren't very many out there. When I think of the people that I consider legitimate badasses on NXT, I think of Samoa Joe. I think of Tommaso Ciampa. I think of Ilja Dragunov. I think of Walter. Like those are people that I can buy. Like when they're angry, it doesn't feel like The Miz when he's trying to be angry. No, this feels like a legitimate guy who is pissed off or whatever the case may be. And that's what you get from somebody like Ilja Dragunov. He just brings like, I don't know if he would fit in with the new version of NXT, but still. Anyway, so Ilja Dragunov, he comes out, new NXT UK champion. The crowd is chanting, "You deserve it," chants. You know, he's busted open on his face. You can see that giant like scab that he has on his face. And then he basically just says that before he goes home, and the second he mentioned home, he got like booze for that because the people do not want him to go home. And he just says that he wanted to tell everybody, and he wanted everybody to see that he was still alive, after going into this into this war that he went into with Walter, who we all know If you're in a ring with somebody, the person you do not want to see on the opposite side of you is Walter, okay? Nobody here wants to wrestle Walter because he would kill you. He would kill me. He would kill you. It takes a lot of courage to be in the ring with Walter. But anyway, so he comes out and he basically starts saying how he feels more alive than ever before. The crowd is chanting, "Please don't go home." And I thought, and I kind of had my hopes up here. I thought somebody was going to come out. I thought somebody was going to challenge him. I don't know. I was just hoping that they found a way to kind of keep him there. But this kind of felt like, okay, goodbye, go back where you came from sort of thing, which kind of sucks. But what can you do? What can you do? And we got a super chat from Kaleem Elahi who says they should merge NXT and NXT UK. That was my prediction. And I have said this on a couple of shows now, I believe, where my prediction, honestly, is like, given the fact that we saw Walter, we saw Dragunov, we have Kaylee Ray now, I really did think that maybe they were cherry picking some of that NXT UK talent to, go on over to the NXT brand. And, I don't know. I just feel like, given the fact that hardly nobody watches NXT UK, it doesn't feel like I would prefer for them to merge the brands and just have it be NXT and that's it. That's what I would prefer, but I don't know if that's what they're going to do. But thank you so much to Kaleem Elahi for sending in this super chat. We got Jeremy saying, more Ilja, please. It's very simple, guys. It's very simple. Ilja Dragunov is the NXT that we want. It's really that simple. And, everybody's putting over Walter's chops. I appreciate it. Well, I don't know why I appreciate it, but yeah, Walter's chops are absolutely madness. And we got Shane Miller saying that he hopes Dragunov is a part of the plan, just one of the great talents they have. Yeah, you don't want to. Here's what I don't get. If you have these great talents on a brand that isn't necessarily being watched and you want to get more eyeballs on another brand that has more viewers, why not bring the best of the best to fill that roster? I'm sorry, but I would condense that and put my best on NXT so that you can have more people being interested in. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you right now. One of the things that I have been noticing as a podcaster, on-air personality, whatever you want to call me, social media tweeter, social media tweeter, whatever the hell it is you want to call me, I have noticed, and this really, really sucks, but keep in mind that I tweet about almost every single wrestling show. There has been a dramatic decrease in the interest that I am seeing on NXT for people. A lot of people aren't necessarily talking about NXT as much as they were before. This is just my firsthand experience based on what I've been seeing on my social medias and, just overall, I have been seeing a decrease in the interest that people have been having with NXT. I don't think it helps, obviously the fact that, I don't want to say that it doesn't help that it's pre-taped and that it's not live. I don't know. I'm assuming that has to be part of it as well. But I have been noticing a lesser interest in the brand, which bums me out because, I'm still investing my time watching the show and, tweeting about it because there are good stuff on the show. But because there has been so much sort of negativity around the brand that I do think that it is affecting it. And I really hope that it doesn't carry on. And maybe once these, changes are made with NXT, I'm hoping that maybe that'll, get people to watch the show. I don't even know anymore, guys. I really don't even know what to say. But this is something that I have genuinely noticed. And I think it sucks. I really, really do think it really sucks. And we got Malcolm Mitchell who says that the interest will surely pick up at the Index wedding. It probably won't. I mean, you'll probably get a couple of people just watching to see what the wedding is going to turn out to be like. And I think that's on the September something edition of the show. I forget when they said, but it really sucks, man. Christopher Segovia says NXT is better when it's live. I hate it when it's taped because of the spoilers. See, that's the thing about me though, is that I avoid all spoilers. I know you guys probably think it's super hard for me to avoid spoilers. It's not. It's super easy. I rarely get anything spoiled because I don't read the spoilers. I just don't read them because I don't want to go into the show and know what's going to happen. I like having things be a surprise. I like being surprised. Like, even when I'm in a position to find out spoilers, I always tell people, do not tell me. Do not tell me. I'd rather not know. I'd rather not know and go into the show not knowing, because it's like I want to be excited watching the show, and then I also like want to come out here and be excited when I'm talking about the actual show. So I've never been a spoilers person, but there are other people though that they have a different mentality. There's people that read spoilers and it actually works the opposite way for them. It makes them more interested. So I just think it depends on what it is. Like, if the show is good, and let's say you got spoilers, you saw the spoilers, but the spoilers were great, like you had great stuff happening on the show, I do not think the spoilers would affect that. I think people would still tune in even if they had the spoilers. As long as the show is good and you get that from the spoilers, I think people would tune in. And I know this because I've had this discussion where I ask them, like, for me, spoilers does tune me away from shows, but for other people, it does not. It has the opposite effect on that. So I really just think that it depends on the person itself. But we got a super chat from Brent M. Thank you so much to Brent, who says they need to go back to Full Sail, Capital Wrestling Center. I like the Capital Wrestling Center. I mean, yeah, it's the same thing over and over, but I guess whatever. All right, let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Jason PS3 says, it's sad that they had to put in pipe noise during the entrances on NXT. I saw a lot of people talking about this on Twitter. I do not know if that was for sure, if they really were piping in crowd noise during this. I'm not confident in my answer, but I did see a lot of people talking about this on Twitter. We got a comment from Lenny Banner who says, NXT has become Raw Light minus the extra hour, more or less. For me personally, he says, I fell off with NXT after Cole Ciampa came and went. They haven't pulled me back since. Oh, man. Well, thank you so much, Lenny, for not giving up on me and still coming back onto this show, guys. Please make sure to come back to the show. I don't want to get canceled. So they really need to pick it up and gain more interest so my show does not get canceled. And let's see what else we got here. All right, let's go ahead and move on. And let's jump into this quick Kaylee Ray interview with Arash. She basically says that she's here to make that. She says that wherever she goes, she makes an impact, and that the NXT women's division needs a new top player. And that was kind of it from this. I will be honest, guys. These sit-down interviews feel very, 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 very scripted. I think there's a way to make these scripted interviews still feel more conversational, but it almost feels like it doesn't feel. How do I explain this? It almost feels like they're shooting Arash and they're saying, ask the question. He asked the question, and then it's like a pause, and then it's okay, another shot. We're going to go ahead and, get the answer. It feels very disconnected. I wish it kind of felt a little bit more conversational. Even with the scripted lines, there is a way to make it sound like you're really just asking that question for reals and nobody gave it to you. I do wish that this felt a little bit less robotic. But for the most part, it was what it was here. And Twitch Phase 4 starting the hashtag cancel Denise. Please do not cancel my show. I need the money. Jeremy Jimenez, in regards to our spoilers conversation, says, I used to read spoilers, not anymore. I have friends that are very into reading spoilers. And it, again, like I said, it makes them decide whether or not to watch a show. Me, no spoilers. I can't do them. A Shock says your show needs more Fuego del Sol. Hell yeah! If I could get Fuego del Sol on here, my ratings would skyrocket. Zane Miller says Kaylee Ray is such a talent too. Her and Tony put on some good matches. I know this isn't a SmackDown stream, but where is Tony Storm? All right, moving on. Let's get into this match with Imperium versus Grayson Waller and Drake Maverick. So for the most part, this was a very fast match here. So I'll just be real with you guys. It looks like Grayson Waller and Drake Maverick are now a team. Make what you will of that. I don't think we have a team name. I'm not entirely sure if this is official. It seems official. At least this is what I'm getting from this, that this is an official new pairing. I don't necessarily know how I feel about it just yet. So I didn't really know anything about Grayson Waller. Nothing going into this. I was like, who's this guy? But anyway, so because he's on 205 Live, and I do not watch 205 Live, he's had 10 matches in WWE. They've all been on 205 Live. So this was his official NXT debut here. And as you guys know, Drake Maverick was, previously teaming up with Killian Dane, but Killian Dane was released in June. So like about 2 months ago now. And there really has been a sort of, they obviously don't know really what to do with Drake Maverick right now. He's had a couple of singles matches, but nothing of really of an actual storyline or anything like that. This match, it was what it was. Basically, we had Grayson Waller and Marcel kicked off this match. And there were some moments where I thought, you know what, this isn't bad. But then there were a couple moments where, and I think this worked into the match, where Grayson looked a little bit confused, a little bit lost. And so then he finally gets that tag in where Drake Maverick finally gets tagged into the match. But then afterwards, we see Grayson Waller tag himself back into this match, and Drake Maverick just looks at him and he goes, no, because he doesn't want Grayson Waller to essentially get into this match, because when Drake Maverick was in this match, he was kind of getting stuff done. Like the match was turning around to their side here. But then as the match is picking up, that's when Grayson Waller decided to tag himself in, and Drake Maverick's just like, gosh darn it. But it ended up sort of, working into the full story, because in the end, Imperium ends up getting the win by pinning Grayson Waller. So it's like, basically, if Drake Maverick would have continued on in this match instead of Grayson Waller, then they might have won. So already there is this tension between Waller and Drake Maverick. So I did kind of, here's the thing. The only reason why I'm saying I kind of like this was just because Drake Maverick has this very, very fun, lovable, likable personality, and he's very funny, where he literally just said one word. He just said no. And that was my favorite thing of this entire match. So I almost feel like no matter what you give Drake Maverick, he's gonna find a way to make it work. But we'll see how this team goes up, guys. There really isn't anything else to say about this. Let's see what you guys are saying. If we have any interesting comments here. We got people just basically saying that they thought that Drake Maverick and Killian Dane were a better team. Well, that's definitely a given here. And people are asking what's his face? Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. Grayson Waller is. I was like, what's his name? What's his name? I was just talking about him. Oh, wow. It happens. I'll remember by next week, guys. And Ace Shock says Drake Maverick playing the serious one for a change. That is true, because he was the one that, wanted to get this win, wanted to, he had an actual game plan. Like, at least you can assume that he had a game plan, because he was bummed. He was pissed off when he got tagged out of the match. But yeah, it is what it is. Jeremy Jimenez says that he can see them doing a mentor-student thing with Drake and Grayson. Yeah, they could do that as well. I think they just need to find a way. If they give them like some funny segments and, get some personality skits going, I think they can have something there. But just based off of this one match, there's only so much that you can say. It wasn't something that I instantly loved. But again, it's only been one match, so we'll wait and see how this goes. And Keith Duran says Imperium punished the hell out of Waller today. Drake is a lucky man, and I personally think the new NXT logo looks like 90s MTV logo. Oh, man, guys. Oh, man. H. Rod says that he got timed out on YouTube. I don't know why that happened. Sorry about that. That happened to somebody else last time, guys. If that happens to you, I'm very sorry. I don't know why that happens, but let's move on here. All right, so let's get into Johnny Gargano versus LA Knight. So this, honestly, this was not a bad match. This was not a match that I was necessarily looking forward to. I thought it was okay, but once the actual match started, I thought this was pretty good. Now, here's the thing that I've been noticing, and I've been pretty hard on LA Knight. I feel like I've been hard on him. I haven't necessarily I liked, a couple of the stuff I liked all of the skits that he did with Cameron Grimes. I loved all of that. I loved all the promo stuff. I loved, like I said, all the vignettes and everything. I love his last recent match at TakeOver 36 that he had with Cameron Grimes, but everything else for me fell flat. Everything else to me fell flat. But I almost feel like they're aware of the fact that people don't necessarily see LA Knight as like your NXT style of a wrestler. Like you don't really see him up at that like caliber yet, like the way that you do a Johnny Gargano or an Adam Cole or a Kyle O'Reilly or, somebody like that. So what I have been noticing is that they have been pairing LA Knight with guys that I think can sort of show him in a better light. The stuff that he did with Cameron Grimes, like progressively got better. Like I said, their last match I absolutely loved, and I didn't like really their first or their second match, but the third match I was definitely a fan of that. And then they put him in this match with Johnny Gargano, and Johnny Gargano, they don't call him Johnny Wrestling for absolutely no reason. Whoever Johnny Gargano is in the ring with, he's gonna make him look good. And they kind of had this really nice chemistry in there, to the point where I didn't think LA Knight looked bad in this match whatsoever. They did a really good job of actually, again, similar to what I said about some of the other guys on today's show, they did a good job at highlighting their strengths. And that's one of the things that you want to see happen often, because again, like I said, LA Knight is not, Finn Balor in the ring, okay? But given that he has a lot of personality, there's a lot that you can do with him, and putting him in these matches with guys like Johnny Gargano and even what he did with Cameron Grimes, I think they're doing a good job with that and the way that they're presenting him. It's been a total shift from when he first debuted onto NXT. I think he had like a bunch of losses like right at the beginning, and I was like, oh, this is not going to go over well. But it has drastically, like they flipped this on its head, and things have been looking a lot better for LA Knight here. I did not like the finish to this match. I mentioned earlier that I was like, I know we had a distraction finish. Yep, it was this match here. So we ended up seeing LA Knight win this match after hitting the BFT, and this all happened because Johnny Gargano got distracted by Dexter Lumis, who was on the outside of the ring with Indy Hartwell, and that essentially ended up causing Johnny Gargano to get distracted and end up losing this match. It was a very, very silly finish, and commentary felt very, very silly even talking about it. Like, I forgot what they were saying, but I just kind of felt like the whole story felt very childish. And that's the thing, though, with the whole Index storyline, that's really what it has been. It has felt very childish. And so that's how we came across here in this finish. Again, not a bad match whatsoever, but the finish was not that great, guys. It really wasn't that great. And let's see what else we got here, guys. We got people just basically putting over Johnny Gargano. Makes sense. He's doing good stuff there all around, all the time. And yeah, we got people saying they like this match. I like all of this, guys. Good stuff here. Good stuff. All right. Before we move on, I just want to remind everybody that tomorrow I will be back to talk about AEW Dynamite. So AEW Dynamite on Wednesdays is my most popular stream of the entire week. It's always so much fun. We're going to talk about Dynamite and everything that goes down. It is the official Dynamite Go Home show. That sounds funny, the Dynamite Go Home show. But it's the AEW Dynamite before All Out. So it is their Go Home show if you don't count Rampage. But if you count Rampage, then Rampage is their Go Home show. But whatever. It's their AEW Dynamite Go Home show for All Out 2021. So they have some good stuff announced for that. So that should be pretty fun. I leave on Thursday to Chicago. I'm very, very excited. I'll leave Thursday. I'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I will be back home on Monday. And then Monday, I will be doing my All Out show. Friday, I'll be doing the AEW All Out prediction show. So it's going to be like nonstop. So after tomorrow's Dynamite stream, you'll see me back for Friday to do the prediction show. So friendly reminder that I'm not going to be doing a Smackdown or a Rampage coverage show at all this week, because it just does not fit with my schedule whatsoever, guys. Like, this week is going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. All right, here we go. After this, we have a quick segment where MSK basically tells William Regal that they want to have a match against Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. So they're getting this match next week. This ends up playing into the finish of the show, which we'll talk about later. I think they need to have MSK work a little bit more on their on-camera speaking, because this kind of felt a little awkward. They felt like little kids basically asking dad if they can go out. So I think they need to help them a little bit more with the talking there. But we got a super chat from Brandon Charles Powell who says, so if SpongeBob and his crew are coming to NXT, maybe we'll see Sandy do some shooting on people like Charlotte and Nia. Dear Lord. That was an interesting topic to talk about on Monday Night Raw. And it was an interesting topic to read all over social media and all of that. But we won't touch on that for today. But either way, yeah, SpongeBob and Sandy, I'm down. I'm down to see some. Technically, that would be a mixed tag team match if you had SpongeBob and Sandy, because Sandy's a girl. Yeah. All right. At least I think. Yeah, I think she is. Yeah, she is. Sandy's a girl. And someone's pointing out that Sandy is from Texas. Well, maybe she'll make her way over to Chicago. We'll see. All right. Next week we are going to be seeing Mei Ying have a match, so that's going to be interesting to talk about. We'll see how that all goes down. That's going to be happening next week. Then we have this quick match between Raquel and Jessica Maya. This was a quick match. Raquel got the win. We all know this is finally leading to Raquel versus Frankie Monet, and that really is the only thing to get excited about. I'm excited for when they start to tell the story with Raquel and Frankie Monet. I'm excited to see where it's going to go. I'm excited to see how the match is going to be and just all of that. So I'm digging this just because I know what it's leading to, but the match itself was really nothing. After this, we find out that it's Ember Moon's birthday. She addresses Kaylee Ray backstage in a really, really not so great promo, guys. I did not think this promo was good. I thought it was a little weird because she's addressing Kaylee Ray, but the way that she delivered the promo and her eye line was directly at Mackenzie, I almost felt like she was calling out Mackenzie instead. I didn't like this promo. I thought it was really bad. And I didn't buy anything that she said on there. I really wish that it would have been a little bit of a better promo because I really like Ember Moon, but this promo just was not it at all. It really felt like she was directing these insults at Mackenzie Mitchell, even though she wasn't, but that's the way it felt like it. It was really weird. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of people are definitely agreeing with me here that it was a weird promo. I do not know. It just was. All right. Samoa Joe has a quick interview backstage, and it's pretty simple. He talks about, new talents coming in and stepping up and all of that. He even mentions the Las Vegas tryouts, which BTW, guys, I did get to interview Samoa Joe for the very first time. I had never interviewed Samoa Joe before. I will tell you, out of all the interviews that I had the entire week, out of everybody that I spoke to, the person I was most nervous to talk about was Samoa Joe. I kid you not. Once I realized that Samoa Joe was going to be my next interview, inside my head, I was like, fudge, because I was so nervous for that one. And because I was nervous, I was so excited for it. I was like, oh my God, it's Samoa Joe. I'm going to interview him. And I didn't know I was going to interview him. So everything that I came up with was on the fly. I was just like, all right, think, what do you want to know? Think fast. What's in the news? So if you watch that interview, just know that I'm thinking really fast about, what I'm going to be talking about here. So it's very exciting. I do hope I get to have a proper longer interview someday with Samoa Joe. I think it would be really fun. But talk about an intimidating presence, because he has this aura that really commands respect. And I kind of felt like a geek because he came up to me and they introduced him. They were like, oh, this is Denise, you're gonna do an interview with her, blah blah blah. And I was like, hi. I off camera, I was like, hi, I'm so happy. I've been wanting to interview you for a very long time. And then I think he was just like, all right, cool. She's just geeking out. Right. And then I went a step further, guys. I went a step further and I kept telling, inside my head, I was like, Denise, shut up and start this interview. Just shut up. And I was like, I was telling Samoa Joe that his match with Kenta Kobashi in Ring of Honor was literally my favorite match of all time, and I started to put over that match. And I don't know if he appreciated it. Like, I really couldn't tell. Like, I couldn't tell if he appreciated that I even knew that match or even knew that portion of his career, or if he just saw me as a fangirl. So I really couldn't make that out because I was kind of nervous. But inside my head, I was just like, Denise, shut the hell up and start the damn interview. So then I eventually did. But there you go. That's a little backstory there on what happened there with me and Samoa Joe on there. And we got people saying, H-Rod says, you were marking out, it'd be okay. I'd be the exact same way. Twitch Face says, Denise should give lessons in not swearing to that potty mouth Brand Alvarez. Did I swear just now? If I did, I'm very sorry. I didn't even realize it, guys. Oh my God. I've been working. Well, I haven't been working on that. I'll be real with you guys. I haven't been working on it. All right. Let's move on. Roderick Strong versus Ike Jiro. Guys, this match was, it was what it was. I mean, I don't think they see anything in Ike Jiro. And here's the thing is that he's a fun type of guy. Like, I like Ike Jiro, but I don't think they see much in him, at least based on what I'm seeing. I mean, Roderick Strong pretty much dominated this entire match and ended up winning. There really isn't much to say there. That was it. Io and Zoe will be defending their titles against Casey and Kaden, I believe next week. Wow, I did not even write that down. But I don't even know when the heck Io and Zoe last even defended their titles. I don't even remember. I keep forgetting that they're even tag team champions. Oh, man. And yeah, it's just, but my favorite part of this whole backstage segment, by the way, when they were making this match, Io Shirai just looks at Casey and Kaden and she just says, I don't like you. I don't like you. And then she tells Zoe Starks, I don't even like you either. I thought that was pretty hilarious. That was probably one of the highlights that I saw. Oh, thank you. Twitch Face says that I said fudge. Thank you. I did not even realize it, guys. Oh my God. And someone says, did you ask what brand of hair dye he used when he was blonde? No, I did not ask that. I definitely did not ask that. All right. And Pomi Wrestling lets me know that their last title win was back in July. Jesus, we're already going into September. Jesus. Here we go. Let's get into the main event of the night. We had Ridge Holland versus Tommaso Ciampa. And man, guys, so one of the things we've been talking about on this podcast for a while now, and a few people have brought it up in the chat where they're basically have been mentioning that they missed Tommaso Ciampa essentially having these singles matches. And I talked to Tommaso Ciampa and he basically told me that he feels like a lot of people forgot what a great wrestler he is. And, you know, he's sort of taken a step back and he's taken a backseat a little bit by essentially teaming up with Thatcher, not like in a bad way, but it's something like completely different from what he was doing when he was really at the top of his game on NXT. So it's something a little bit different. I have been liking the pairing of him and Thatcher, but again, he just has so much more to offer. And I could tell in this match, guys, and I don't know, like if you watched NXT, I think you'll get what I'm saying here, is that in this match, I could really tell that he was so excited to be doing this match with Ridge Holland. I don't know what it was. Like, Ciampa always brings this energy to his matches, and he's always so hard hitting, and everything that he does just looks 100 times more impactful than if anybody else did it. But this time, I saw it even more. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because he was like in a singles match, and maybe like, you know, I've been so used to see him in a tag team matches as of late with Thatcher. I don't know, man, but I just kind of felt like he brought this new level of intensity on top of the intensity that he already had previously. This was just something that I kept seeing here. And you saw a lot of rights and lefts being exchanged between both men. There was a moment where Ciampa hits the air raid crash on Holland, and this was impressive given that Ridge Holland is not a small guy whatsoever. Ciampa then hits Holland with multiple knees to the face, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, he's sort of starting to dominate this match, and I was automatically assuming that we were going to see Ridge Holland win this match because it looks like they're definitely putting a lot of eggs into his Easter basket, and they're definitely pushing Ridge Holland since his return, and they should. Look at him. He looks great, and for the most part, his matches have been good, and, you know, he has something to him. Like, I look at him, and I can see, like, yeah, that guy's going to be a star. All right, cool. So I was totally expecting for them to get, to give, obviously have Ciampa get a lot of offense during this match, but at some point I was still expecting to see Ridge Holland win this, but then he didn't. I was in complete shock when Ridge Holland did not win this match. And that wasn't, because I didn't want to see Ciampa win. I just kind of felt like they've been pushing Ridge Holland and it looks like they're going someplace with him. And so I was surprised when I saw him lose this. Now they just got my hopes up, man, because I want to see Ciampa go back and be, one of the top guys, going for the NXT championship. That's what I want to see. I want to see Ciampa versus Samoa Joe. Hell yeah, give me that. I'm totally here for that. 100%. But that's not where we're going as of right now. We had a post-match. We saw Pete Dunne, Oni Lorcan, and Danny Burch attack Tommaso Ciampa. And so then afterwards, MSK came out to help even out the odds. And as you all know, they're going to have that match next week with Burch and Lorcan. So that pretty much kind of leads into that. But that was NXT, ladies and gentlemen. So a pretty decent show. We had a lot of pretty good wrestling here tonight and, some stories being told, but a good job overall. And let's see what you guys are saying before we wrap up this stream here. We got a lot of people. Marvin just basically saying that Ciampa versus Holland was a physical and great match. And it was short too. It was short. Like it wasn't a long match, but for what it was pretty good. Jeremy Jimenez says that Holland is going to be a star. Brandon points out that Ciampa is living the dream. He loves pro wrestling and it shows in his work. It really does. And that's the thing that they need to do so much more with that guy. There's so much that you can still do with him. Like, dang, there's still so much. Yeah, pretty much everybody putting over this match here. Zane Miller says Ciampa was moving. Kicks and strikes are so awesome. I was definitely surprised at the finish. Holland may win a rematch. Pomi Wrestling says, I'm guessing they have Ciampa. They gave Ciampa the win to reestablish him as a viable title contender to Samoa Joe. I was thinking the exact same thing here, and that's why I mentioned that I kind of felt like they got my hopes up, gave me a little bit of a tease where I'm thinking, because I just thought that they were going to keep him, in the tag team title picture for a while. I wasn't expecting them to be in the NXT championship picture. Obviously we still don't know if that's where they're going, but after this win, I kind of felt like maybe they might still be headed that direction. We'll see. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what we got here. Advi says Ciampa needs to get Goldie back before all is said and done. Hell yeah. Alrighty, guys, there you go. That is NXT. Thank you guys so much, as always, for tuning in. I will be back again next week for NXT, but do not forget to come back on Wednesday tomorrow to hear my AEW Dynamite debut. Oh my gosh, guys, my AEW Dynamite post show. As you all know, that is literally my most popular show. So come on in, come join all the fun. And then Friday, I will be on at an earlier time. Check the YouTube channel. The stream is already set up. I will be on at an earlier time to do AEW All Out predictions to make up for me not doing the Smackdown Rampage show. And then Monday, since I will be at All Out, Monday I will be doing a stream for All Out when I get back here to Los Angeles. And I will be talking about the show, recapping it all, and then also, giving you guys a firsthand experience of what it was like to be there live. I'm going to be at the press conference afterwards, and so that should be fun. I'm really hoping that they have CM Punk talk to the press. That would be great, but we'll see. We never know who's going to show up to those. We usually find out in that moment. So we'll see what happens, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do not forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitter and on Instagram @_Denise Salcedo. See you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.